I'm hoping to have a painting day today with that stuff onto this and a couple other big parts. I saved these things from last time I did some cylinders. These go in here nicely, but I got all this taping to do. It just takes forever, but it's got to be done. Getting there. You'll have to excuse the lawnmowers, weed whackers, and blowers going off every Saturday morning. We have to put up with this shit noise. It gets old after a while. But here's my setup. There's the turbo pump. And I'm set up in here. This is my paint booth for today. I have an engineering masterpiece here. I made a Lazy Susan so I can spin this thing around while I'm painting. I used an old chair base. I just need to take some acetone to all these parts and give them a wipe down, and then I'm going to put a couple of coats of primer on, and then I'll get to this action. Alright, I got things primered up, ready for paint. Oop. See, I put an old clutch cover on there, and I had one jammed up cylinder I could put on here. Had to tape off the other side. I'm attempting to use my chest mount on my GoPro for this process. This thing does say right on here, do not use with oil-based coatings. That sucks. This is an oil-based coating. I'm going to use 5 ounces of paint to 3 ounces of acetone, and then put a tiny bit of this Japan dryer in there. It's supposed to harden the paint a little bit more. This is the Japan dryer. I put 3 ounces of acetone in this one. I got 5 ounces of paint in here, plus the Japan dryer. Mix it up real good. I shot a little acetone through the gun just to make sure that it's working, and it's working. I don't know if that's enough paint, but we'll find out. If I have to mix more, I'll mix up some more. Pretty big fan. I don't need that. I need to put my respirator on now and then go to town. Everything's got one coat of paint. This is really hard with all these little nooks and crannies I have to get into. Sometimes I'm putting it on a little heavy, other times maybe a little light. I just flipped this guy over because I got to get the backside of these things. But things are looking pretty good. And here comes a nice breeze. That'll really help things out. I need to see how much paint I have left in there. There's a bit. I'm going to give it about 15 minutes and put another coat on everything. did have to mix up some more paint. I got to this guy and it was pretty much empty, so I mixed up some more. And sadly, it looks good, but it got kind of orange peely on this last coat. I was trying to make this my prize piece here. It's gonna have to do, I suppose. More parts. I think the engine case looks pretty good. I think it's impossible to see because of the bright background, but a bug landed on this one. I'm debating now whether I put another coat on this thing. Or will it get more orange peely if I do that? I did want to put another coat of paint on this clutch cover, but I didn't. There was a little tiny something right here, and the paint was still real tacky. I was going to try to get it off. I was going to paint over it, and then I thought, let's leave well enough alone. So some parts of these parts I would give about a 9 for finish. Looks pretty good. This paint is definitely setting up. There's some areas that kind of have a texture like this that I don't care for, but I'm just going to have to leave it. This looks a little different right here than up on the top. I did focus my efforts on the top, and I think it came out pretty good. The top engine case looks pretty good. I'm happy with that. The head looks pretty good. There's a little bit of inconsistency here and there, but it was hard to get in there to make it all perfectly consistent. The small parts look pretty good. This thing came out kind of weird. Cylinders look pretty good. I'm happy with these. I'm glad I didn't use gloss paint. I think it would have been a little too shiny. The semi-gloss came out pretty good. Everything's untaped. I'm going to let this stuff cure for a week, maybe 2 weeks, and then I can start assembly of the engine.